All right, so we're back in the shop today and we're working on something that a lot of you guys tend to like. This is my old shop truck. It's a 1972 Chevrolet Cheyenne Super. And of course, I call it the Super Turbo because it is equipped with a turbocharged V8. The engine I rebuilt many, many years ago, 1994. I did a rebuild on a 350. I did a bunch of custom stuff to it with low compression, and then in about 2005, when my first daughter was born, she had a lot of nap times, I was able to design a turbo system. And I raced it a bit, got down in the 12-second range. It's pretty fast for not being intercooled, but we're going to the next level. The one thing I never really liked about this thing is the carburetor. And although the carburetor is designed for boost, it never really worked that well. When you have a choke, electric choke, on a turbocharged carburetor, it just never really worked. Sometimes it would foul a plug, it'd be too rich, too lean. If you wanted to change anything, you had to get in there and take stuff apart. You had to run special floats, you had to run special power valve. It worked fine for many years, but now there's something on the market that's way better and it's reasonable, and I think I'm going to put it on my truck. Got it sitting right here on my bench. In fact, I'm just about ready to unbox it. It's this Holley Sniper EFI. Looks like a carburetor, but it's a complete fuel injection system. I got the shiny one, and I think this is going to solve a lot of my problems. This is 800 CFM. Shouldn't have any bogs, hiccups, stumbles, misses, which is what my carburetor did have, but I just lived with. And most importantly, the cold start feature. That's key. Is when you go out to start it and it's 20 degrees outside, I want the thing to run. I want to pump the pedal, backfire, fart, foul a plug. So you guys can follow along. We've got a little handheld dash screen here that we can actually adjust all our parameters. It's pretty darn cool. It's bringing our old Cheyenne into a new world of fuel injection. I've already got the oxygen sensor plumbed in here. I was using this for tuning with a wideband. So let's get to it. Let's put this thing on. All right, so it's a few hours later now, and if you've been following along, I'm converting my old small block Chevy turbocharged truck from a carburetor, which is right here. This is a boost prepared 650 CFM mechanical secondary carburetor. It worked really well for many years. I just didn't like the cold starts mostly. Now we have a bright, shiny Sniper 800 CFM fuel injected unit on there, and I've got most of all the components hooked up. The oxygen sensor, the fuel pump relay. The computer for this thing is actually right here. It's right in the front of the unit. The pressure line comes in the back right here, and the return line is here. I already had the fuel pump mounted on the frame rail. It's a Porsche fuel pump, a 044 Bosch, which is capable of 150 psi, and so this has got a regulator that regulates it down to 50 psi. So a lot of stuff going on in here. I had to zip tie most of my wiring mess out of the way. Don't mind that. I'm still working on that. I had to tie into my MSD box and my timing boost controller, and I'll go through that a little later. But I'm pretty happy with how everything's going. I had to change all the fuel lines to high pressure lines, so I've got all my old lines laying here on the floor. This is my old Mallory boost referenced fuel rising rate fuel pressure regulator I had on the frame. No longer have use for that because now it's all electronic, but this truck is going to be kind of fun once I get it all worked out. I'm waiting for a new thermostat housing so I can mount this computer controlled temperature sensor into it, so I can't start it up tonight, but it's pretty close. It's ready to go. I got my header pipe wrapped there so it doesn't burn my brake booster. I got my brake reservoir lowered a little bit so it doesn't hit the hood. That's my new 2006 Silverado brake improvement we went through in the last video. And then I haven't gone through the methanol injectors yet, but this truck is actually equipped with methanol. If you're interested in that, I'll do another video, but there's a fuel tank hidden right there. It's 2 gallons, and that is my methanol reservoir. It's a boost referenced methanol injector. Comes on about 5 psi. All right, so I'm going to save this for another day. Probably tomorrow morning we'll finish up and we'll take it for a drive, I hope. All right, stay tuned. Okay, so we've been working on putting fuel injection on our old Chevy Cheyenne. You can see the nice shiny Sniper EFI 800 CFM with 4 fuel injectors, 4 100 pound per hour fuel injectors, which is good for 650 horsepower, which should be an upgrade over my, well, I don't know. I think I was putting out about 450 to 500, hoping to get more like 550. So everything's bolted down, everything's wired. I hope I'm going to actually connect the battery and hope that there's not a bunch of smoke, and then go program the computer inside. So here we go. No smoke. Let's go inside the cabin. And the dog was just trying to get a nap in there, I can tell. Now we're not supposed to crank it. We're just supposed to turn it on and see what happens here. So turn it to the run position. Oh, I'm getting something. Cool. I got the startup wizard. All right, so initial power up. All right, do not attempt to start. So I need to select the wizard. It's this one here. And it's that one there. I might have to go get a stylus to poke this. Make a bunch of these, I didn't know. Okay, next. Got 8 cylinders. Engine displacement is 355. Oops. Oh, that is touchy. Okay. All right, let me set this up and then we'll see if we can crank it off. Okay, we went through our setup and I can hear the fuel pump now running. I'm going to check for leaks. No leaks under the cab. I can sure hear it buzzing. No leaks here. I hope we have enough pressure. Well, let's see what I got to do next. Hey, you can't get in there. I think I got to turn it off, cycle it a few times. Whoops. Let's read this. All right, so we're getting closer to starting it up. And I'm looking at my little monitor here and I'm pressing my gas pedal all the way down to see that TPS only goes to 87. I got to figure out why I'm not getting full throttle. So I'm going to mess with that. And I've got the battery charger on it too because I was only at 11.9 volts and I said don't start it up until it's got 12. So let me do a few adjustments here. Okay, so we played with our throttle. I actually had to bend the gas pedal right there on the floor. And I think I'm getting like 94% now, so it's up from 87. And I've got more voltage now. I've got 12.4 with the battery charge, so we're going to try to fire it up. Oh, the phone's ringing. Okay, so this is first startup of the Holley EFI system. Let's see what happens. Foot on the brake. Ooh, start it up. Actually running. That's amazing. Sounds good too. I think I've still got a spark plug that's kind of misfiring. I'm going to back it out of the shop. I'm only going to run it for a little bit. I have my coolant sensor unplugged. Not into a coolant jacket. Down there. Let's let's back her out and let her warm up a little bit. All right, so we got the truck out of the shop. It runs fairly good. A couple of things. I left the hose on the back here for the Brake Master vacuum assist off, so I had no assist, and of course it idles down a little lower now. And you can see I've got a little steam coming off of my header wrap, and I don't know what my fuel pressure is, and I'm waiting still another day for my improved water neck that has the bung hole for this, so I can put it in there and get a correct temperature sensor. So I've got to wait for parts, so hang tight, and we'll finish up, and then once we get that on, we can put the hat back on and tune it for boost. All right, so our little water neck came in for our small block Chevy conversion to fuel injection. Now we actually got something, where is it? Here it is, to plug our coolant temperature sensor into. I think it's going to go right into that port right there. Let's get working on it. All right, so we just changed the thermostat and the thermostat housing in the old truck, and you can tell by the water drips. It's out there idling. Seems like it's running pretty good. No longer fouling plugs. I've got a lot of zip ties to cut off. I got the turbo hat back on. We're gonna let it warm up here. It's self-learning. You can see my coolant temperature sender right there, the little gold thing right there. It's now plugged in line. The coolant is full. Oil is clean. I even made a scoop where the turbo pulls air from this area right here. Was really getting hot. I made this scoop that scoops up air, and it kind of allows fresh air to go to the bottom of this chamber so the turbo can pull in some cool air. Stella's already trying to go for a ride. Let's see what the computer says. Let's see if it's learning yet. Alright, so water temperature hasn't gone up much, and our target air-fuel ratio is at 12.6. Looks like everything's working. It's in closed loop, but not learning, so takes throttle pretty good. Seems strong. We've got wow, it's pretty good vacuum. 19 inches of vacuum. Nice. With the carburetor, I would have a hard time doing that because I could never find the right fuel mixture. So I'm hoping this saves my bacon. Let's let it warm up here. I'll come back in a minute. Alright, so the old truck is running pretty good. I just took it for a drive. I got most everything the way I want it. There's a few things I'm just not sure about. So I can't set my wide open throttle fuel mixture yet. I haven't figured that out. And boost stuff is not available, so I'm not sure what's going on there. But truck sounds good. Just drop that monitor. It's got a nice low idle. I like it to idle about 600. You can hear the fuel injectors popping in there. Hear them? It's not the engine. And we got a nice little rumpy rump on our exhaust pipe. Sounds good. So, all right, we're going to drive this thing around a little bit. We got to put insurance on it and see if we can tune it. Make it work. Make it pay for its existence, right? Maybe we can tow something, take it to the drags. I don't know. We'll see. All right. Thanks for watching. All right. So we're sprucing up our old truck. We got new tires on there. We got new license plates. Stella wants to go for a ride. Come on. Let's go. And we just got insurance. Come here. Hop up in here. It is now fuel injected. It has the cool blue smoothies there. All steel wheels. The blue is a little tribute to the interior. It has a factory blue interior. It still needs some polishing. Drug it out of the bushes not too long ago. I haven't done this fender yet or the door. But it sounds, runs, drives good. Let's take it for a little ride around the block. You didn't think I was going to just let you look at it and not go for a drive, right? Got to get the canopy off. It would look better with that. So let's see how she starts up. The fuel injection is still learning. My dog is trying to learn how to drive. Scoot over. Scoot, scoot, scoot. So we just turn the key. Don't have to touch. Look at my foot's not even near the gas pedal here. So we're going to turn the key. Fires right up. That's so nice. Revs up a little bit. Let's see if we can get a monitor vitals. There we go. Let's drive it. That's the whole thing, right? The throttle response is amazing. Watch this. Step on the gas. The whole thing feels like the engine's going to lift out of the cradle. It's really responsive. Let's check our vitals here. We got battery. We got coolant temperature. Can't get my phone over there. We got 15 inches of vacuum, and we got some fuel in the tank. And our idle is about 500, 700, something like that. Let's go for a little drive. So there's nobody coming. Steering wheel is a bit cracked. Yeah, she likes to go now. Oh my goodness. This new throttle body is 800 CFM versus the 650 double pumper that was on it. So, oh yeah, watch the boost there. She wants to rip. That's gonna be a lot of fun. I hope I don't get a ticket. Lots of air sucking sounds. It feels good though. It's nice to have my truck working again. It's been off the road for a long time. Get out and take a listen to the lumpy cam. Sally, you want to listen to the lumpy cam? She is in all her glory. It's winter time, so the sun is real low. Choppy, chop, chop, chop. That's a lot of fun. I'm glad I revived this whole thing. All right, stay tuned for more technical details.